Paul, another victory, and that gives you 39 points after 22 games, which is by 2 points the most the Welders have had at this stage after 22 games in any of the last 6 seasons since the NIFL Championship went to its current configuration.
Well done, Stano. Didn't know that stats here.
Well, there you go.
Well, good result, good performance. Coming at a difficult game with obviously what was happening with Stephen resigning. Didn't know what kind of response we would get, but we controlled large parts. Done well, missed a few chances, kept good possession. Maybe listen, you're always looking for more, but in fairness, it's pleasing to get the 3 points and on the last game in 2024.
I was going to ask you about that, Stephen, small resignation. What sort of things go? Obviously, it happened this morning, and you probably got the news this morning. What sort of things go through your head, given that you're playing them this evening?
Well, obviously, it's going to be, a test for their players. Some are going to be disappointed. Some are going to be asking questions. Sometimes it can act as a motivation. So, and in fairness to them, they were down a couple of players' suspensions, a couple of injuries. So, but the team that they had out in the pitch, some very good players there, and they were still a formidable opponent. So we had to deal with that. But as this is, it can go either way. With a manager resigning, they can go and be galvanised, or they can go and feel sorry. But I think they were somewhere in between because they give a good account of themselves, in fairness, and we had to work hard for the 90 odd minutes.
So obviously moving right along to actually what happened out on the pitch tonight. Brilliant second goal, O'Connor and Key.
I had good combinations, but as I say, me being greedy, I would like that a wee bit more. Good opportunities in the first half. They score second and a third goal, and we didn't. Couple of good saves from them, maybe a bit of sloppy finishing from us. But as you say, the second goal really kind of gave us a wee bit of a platform in to be controlled and a wee bit more relaxed, and that's what we did. And we scored a good third, and we had more chances after that to score again.
Didn't really matter in the end, but potential penalty for Josh around the 67th minute.
Well, it's not necessarily a penalty. It's very difficult to talk about because of the relationship, but he has fouled a lot, and he doesn't get any real protection, and it's a bit. I don't think he complains too much. I can get criticism for this, but that's life. But as I said, this is the referee after, and it was potentially a penalty. I'd like to see it in the camera after. We'll have a look at it, but he's good for our play. He gets us up a pitch. He can be direct when he needs to be. He can be linking when he needs to be. The last couple of games now, he's involved in our first goal against Dundela. On Friday, he was involved in Tiernan's goal tonight. The second, and I think our first on McCubry. Good finish. But he's quite influence, a big influence on what we do, and long may it continue.
You happy to get 2 goals relatively early tonight, maybe with Friday evening in mind, and obviously you've managed Craig Harris's time well tonight as well.
Well, if Chopper had a play tonight, there's no doubt the games that we played away to Lamavati and away to Duns were always going to be difficult games, and you need Craig Harris in them games. So we just were mindful of he's in his 37th year, even though he doesn't look like that. He looks after himself tremendously well, and he's one booking off a suspension. So we're just mindful of that. And the type of game we thought it was going to be, we just felt dropping Adam on there, who had good form before we moved him back into midfield. Just might give us a wee bit more control in the game. So Chopper now is available for Friday night, which is needed. And we'll obviously have a strong squad, hopefully, to pick from.
3 clean sheets in 6 now. The team's defending very solidly. Jack too has been in top form over the last half dozen games too, but often doesn't get the credit.
Well, in fairness, I'm disappointed with the goal. That was me thing after. I said to them, look, we're 3-0 up in control. We shouldn't be giving that goal away. And then they had the post shortly after that as well. So when you make changes, granted it can have an impact, but the players have to go on and make a difference and keep a level up at the same level. So as I said, that was a wee bit of concern for me. But as you say, Jack's a top goalkeeper. He's got all the attributes to have a really good career. If I'm to be honest with you, I'd like more from him. He's going through a good foundation phase with our club now. And as I says, he's got more in there. And I do think he's one of the boys that'll help us kick on, pray God, in 2025.
An interesting defeat for Bangor tonight. Things getting tighter at the top.
Well, we can only be worried about what we do. That's what we'll do. We just think we have a tough game now away to Armagh. And we had a real wake-up call that day, last game when they beat us 3-0. So it was good learning for the team that day. So, that's all I'll be interested in after the cup match, which is now a priority. But Armagh really is going to be a tough game for us.
I think if I think back to the Armagh game, and I agree with you, it was very, very disappointing. The team looked to be in a much, much better place right now.
Well, we were vulnerable that day for some reason, and then listen, we had a lot of players out that day, injured, suspended. Craig Carras going off at half-time kind of did break our rhythm as well. But we have to learn. It's a young team. The average age is 22 and a half. That's not going to change unless we make some changes, new signings, and bring in older players. But the players that we're speaking there are young players as well. We need young, hungry, talented players. If you're good enough, you're old enough. I know people keep saying about the experience side of it, but like you look at some of our younger players, like our back four tonight, for example, is 20. McLean's 24, Patterson's 21, and Jordan Mullins 21. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got McCurby and the Wrights 20, you've Dalen Farns 22, Josh Keys 22, Tiernan O'Connor's 22. You've a real young team there, and then obviously you have Cairns on there who balances that up a bit. But he's an experienced player, helps you take over. But we're still a very young team, and people forget that. It's not really talked about enough. And then players have all learned a lot this year. But the good thing about it is they love playing for the Welders. They care about it, and it's important to them. And hopefully we can keep these players